on the same calendar as the school district and the state. And then you wouldn't have weird offsets.
I'll share it.
Yeah, that idea came from Henry Underwood and Steve Sawyer. I said, I don't know, look into it.
Yeah,
Quarterly?
I was like, I don't know if we can do it, but
Well, you can do it. Hinsdale did it, they hate it.
squash that idea.
Yeah.
But the online payments have been,
Online payments have worked well.
once the deadline surpasses, I'm gonna try to look back to see how much better the functions are.
All right, it is 5:30. I'm gonna call this meeting to order for the Board of Selectmen. Jump right into it and do board member comments. We'll go ahead and start to my left with Dave Thaxton.
I would like to thank Deb Wilson and Diane Purrington for decorating the Christmas trees on the common. I didn't think to do it in the last Selectmen's meeting, and I think they did a good job, and I appreciate the help. It's one of those things where everybody has an opinion about what should be done, but everybody doesn't take the initiative to do it. And Deb and Diane were right out there, and I think that was great. And I think I speak for the whole select board for just thank you very much.
Yes. Do we have a desired date to take it down?
They're already done.
Oh, okay, never mind.
They took them down.
Oh, okay, Richie asked, I was like, I don't know yet.
They're down, gone.
Is that like there's a
Nice.
gazebo, there's
Day
like
after.
a tree that's,
There's a tree, they haven't got, somebody to get the tree up. That's Dave, but I understand he's sick.
that's a good excuse.
That was my that's all I got.
So going forward, do we want to have a different department each year?
Well, I don't know about that. I don't know what department they were in, so I think they were.
They were just public department.
They were just motivated people. So
Get it decorated,
We can
yeah,
cast,
we'll come back to
we can
that.
cast the potential public works director.
possibly.
There's that one.
All right, Curtis.
This Friday, roller skating got canceled for Troy School because students do not come back until Monday. So we have to call in an extra janitor, and it's just easier just to cancel it. And we're kind of low on staff anyway, so there is no roller skating this Friday, tomorrow. The $5 to-go meal is January 18th. It's going to be lasagna, and that's going to be at the community center, and from 4 to 6. So make sure you be there early, and there'll be lasagna, garlic bread, and I think a vegetable to go with it.
You said the 18th.
The 18th, January 18th at 4 p.m. Saturday.
Put that in my phone, because otherwise I just forget.
And that's all I have because the planning board has not met because yesterday was a holiday, so.
I guess while we're on the planning board topic, the owners of the Route 12 property came in today to start the application process and paid for it. And I said we will hold it because they haven't submitted any of the actual requirements and information, so.
Oh, the one we were in court on.
Yes. So the intent was there, but I told them, I said, you realize, we know all this. So, progress, I guess, slowly, but we did receive payments. So I just told Abby to let the planning board know that we have it, but we're holding it till, because it makes no sense to submit it now, because it's getting rejected, there's nothing there.
Right.
So, and he also gave me a big, copy of the map, just like the plan that he submitted if anyone's interested.
Is it signed?
No.
It's worthless.
Yeah, I don't know.
Kind of, sort of.
But one thing that came up today was the abutters list, which he didn't understand what that was. So no, we don't really want to help people given what happened recently, but given the situation and how we want to move the ball forward here, I filled it out and gave it to him, and
Oh, Jesus.
I really wanted him to take it and
He needs to consult with his.
right. That's what I told him.
Yes, yes.
And
Because now if you missed an abutter, he's gonna say,
sure.
this is what the town administrator told me.
Okay.
Just like you weren't here for that meeting, but they beat up on Abby
Yeah, right.
in 2 meetings because they made it that you said and she said, that's exactly what you don't wanna do.
And, yeah, Abby said that. I just, so, yeah.
Well,
I mean, that was my intent, was to take it and get.
you have to
advice.
stick with that. You can't, this is,
So I was trying to do a good deed to move it.
no good deed goes unpunished.
Right.
Explain to him what an abutter is, and he needs to figure it out or get counsel himself. It is not a service we can provide.
So should send a follow-up email or?
I'm gonna send him a letter
Hey,
anyway.
this is the butters list.
I'm gonna send him a letter anyway.
Yeah, it's definitely follow up.
He still
with
needs to
letters.
submit all this stuff.
You need to make it clear that you made, whatever list you gave him, what may or may not be complete, and he needs to verify that for himself, because his submission can be turned down if that's missing something.
Right. Yeah, I told him, I said, you need to, like, yeah, you paid and it's here, but you need, like, within the next month or two, you need to, this needs to be done, not to sit here on the shelf. So I was gonna send him a letter anyway, so I'll include that.
Yeah, and you need to emphasize that his application isn't even pending, it's, until he's provided all the parts, it's not going anywhere.
Correct.
And
I
then,
don't know if he understands that, so that's why I
well,
sent him a
he
letter.
understands what he wants to understand. And then refer him back to Hoppick, because we are in litigation with him, and Hoppick told the judge that he would talk to him, and Hoppick has sent him emails,
Yeah.
and he's repeatedly tried to avoid that and ignore the emails where Hoppick laid it out clear as a bell what he needs to do.
Correct.
And the judge couldn't have been gentler with him. I mean, so,
She made it pretty clear,
sure.
but even today, yeah, it was still kind of like, oh, I want it, it's like, dude, it's not gonna be ready to go, we're not keen, we're not holding it, sorry.
It's not how it's gonna work. We're not Lawrence, Mass.
Well, and he still has to go through all the proper channels of all the other stuff. So.
Correct.
Basically, we told them that you need to file it, and then the planning board will tell you exactly what they like and don't like, and then you go from there.
And the judge told him that.
And she said, that's how it works in towns, not cities.
Right, and she pointed out to him, this is New Hampshire law. And she didn't use big words, she made it really straightforward for him. Even I understood it.
All right, so continue on. I've got nothing really. Public comment. I don't see any public here tonight. Got anything on?
Wow.
Besides Scott. Kind of public. He works with us now. He's a sucker. I mean, he's stuck with us.
So I don't thank you for your service anymore, by the way.
Thank you.
You can click on it, and if someone makes a comment, it'll be there.
Yeah,
We'll
well, I
have a
don't
chat.
even have an option for comments, that's what I'm saying,
Yeah. I don't see anything right now.
so.
Yeah, I just think they have to be logged in, that's all, and they can public comment.
Yeah, anyone can make a public comment if they're logged in. But right now, there's 12 people watching, so that's good.
The safety of their home.
Okay, exactly. Nice and windy out there. Blowing all night. All right, so we'll go ahead and jump into new business. We'll start with the budgets. The first one is the town clerk tax collector. There's some bad math on here, so the variances is not correct.
So,
I think the new ones
what do
are-
you see as bad math? Because what I'm seeing is a $1,688 increase would
Is
not
it
be a 26% increase.
No, it's a 3%. The next one down is a 38.8%. The next one is a 28.1%. They're not 3%ers. So
Show me where so this is 3%.
the top one is 3%.
Yeah, all right,
So,
I believe that.
Ignoring the red, because the red's completely off. The next
Right.
one is 38.8%. So you go from 13 to 18, it's 38.8%.
Should we call her in?
Yeah, we can.
Yeah.
She got presented anyways.
Yeah.
Or do we want to go through the numbers
So
real quick that I found?
the copies in your binders should be updated, and hopefully.
Find that if it's one of these weird percentages.
So those would be different from.
I mean, I was better with the percentages than with the numbers than the percentages. Somebody's got decimals floating around in the wrong places.
Well, the original one had a negative variance when it was actually a positive. And then the dollar amount of variance was comparing 2024 expenditures to the 2025 budget. You want to compare budget to budget.
Yeah.
We relied on our Excel expert here in town hall, Amanda, earlier.
Amanda did this?
She tried to
She made the
update the
mistakes.
formulas.
Oh,
No, I asked her to save us from our misery.
so the proposed is 1850 divided
Hate
by
these chairs. Can I bring my own chair?
Sure. There's nobody here, so.
13,000. That's 38%. Okay.
I understand. There's always mess ups in these things.
Yep.
Well, even with the variance between the difference of the two, the proposed actual budget is what we need to focus on anyway.
Well, correct, the percentages,
Yeah, but we
it's
gotta
just,
make sure
the
we put the right
percentages are,
information.
they're kind of confusing the situation.
All right, so the first
Which one
one,
I'm gonna do first?
first
Hey,
one.
hey. Go ahead.
Okay, so the first one for yours, a pay increase for you has to do a warrant article, period, because you're an elected official. The
That's
same
right.
thing we did with Marcy, the same thing we did with everyone else.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh, did it? No, okay,
So we gotta put a warrant article for any increases for elected officials,
okay.
just so you know. She was in there and we told her we couldn't do it anymore,
Right.
because elected officials legally have to be done as a warrant.
well, it's not clear that they legally,
Yeah,
they
they
should
have
be
to,
done.
yeah.
Well, they should,
I mean, yeah, you should one way or the other, just stick to it.
yeah.
Yeah, we adopted that policy,
Because at the end of the day, the
Several
selectmen
years
still
ago.
control the budget.
I did not know that, because I don't think I wrote one last year.
yeah, you didn't get a raise.
Yeah, I did.
Oh, did? We may have had one in there.
I think
Check.
we put it in.
I think we put it
warrant
in,
article,
yeah.
so-
But yeah, the 26% number is throwing me off too.
Yeah, the percents on this.
I think
is-
we should just ignore those percent numbers and let's,
Amanda tried.
So for the next line down, 119, tax collector, that's a 38.8% increase.
Yep.
Not a 3% raise, so that would
It's a
be,
3% raise for the two people that will be coming out of that line item, which would be, Steve and Amanda.
so the 3% raise to those two individuals totals the $5,550.
It's half of Amanda's, because Amanda does both. She does town clerk and tax collecting, well, assistant to the town clerk. So half of her pay is coming out of that, but all of Steve's pay is coming out of that.
Okay.
So that's 1.5 part-timers, is that line.
Right, but the total increase to the town is $5,050,
Right.
which is a 38% increase in that line item over the prior year.
Right.
Okay.
And then the other half of hers will come from 120.
Yep.
Okay, that makes sense.
And then all of Kayla's.
and then that one is 28.1%, not 22.
Right, because everybody else other than, there was nothing in tax collector last year taken out. It was a zero.
What do you mean, it says there's $13,000?
No, I know, but like, it was set up that nothing was being taken out of it, and then finally Steve got somewhere halfway through the year. But everything was being taken out of deputy town clerk, tax collector, so that was one whole person. So
Yeah.
that's why now it's 1.5 people as well. But it's not as much, because it was a bigger salary to begin with.
Okay.
All right, you're doubling the advertising.
No?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
went from 100 to 200.
I don't have 200 on, oh, right there, yes, I do.
So
Yes, because-
what do you have to advertise?
Every 90 days, the supervisors have to meet legally now, so I have to post that in the paper,
Okay,
and that's $25 a pop. And I figured there's 5 this year.
okay.
So shouldn't that come out of that the elections budget, because that is what they're all out of paid and everything?
You are correct, actually.
And they've got a line over there, and you've got a 25% decrease in that.
Because they're only meeting once this year. So yeah, so that $200 is gonna go over to elections.
Are you taking the whole 200, or are you just gonna leave it 100 and you're just gonna let it
I'm
fund?
gonna leave $1 in there.
Well, what else do
Let's
you
leave,
advertise?
well, just in case we had to advertise something, like a rabies clinic or something like that.
So I would say leave it at 100, or do you wanna leave it
I
at
would leave it
200?
at 25, and then I can move the 175 over to elections.
Okay, so this
So
is,
you're gonna take it to 25, is what you're telling us.
Yep.
okay,
So we don't have to do it, so it's, we'll deal with it.
we're gonna amend it probably later. Cheshire Registry of Deeds,
Level funding, it looks like. Computer services based on 2024 numbers, sounds about right, unfortunately. Copier.
Yep.
Which copier are you replacing?
The one there that's 10 years old, that one that was double-sided,
Which one
one's
is
that one?
the one that was out here for like 5 years. and
The
it's-
free one that we own, the townhouse?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
It doesn't copy or print anymore. Like if you try and send it to them, it won't go to it.
Yeah.
They've been having issues for a while.
It was pretty bad. I have their copy agreement.
Is there any issue with just using the one that we have out here?
We can, but it takes twice as long to register everybody because we have to come out and make copies of everything.
We really need to do it all.
And it's all privacy information, so it shouldn't leave my office.
Should we get rid of the small one that we had, that we ever get running?
The one in your office? No, I think it's living out in the graveyard.
For whatever reason, I couldn't get it connected properly, but I don't think they used that.
Those old projects are crap. Those
So
are the amount of copying we do.
this would be a copier for your office?
Yep, just like that one, but in our office.
Oh, okay. And that's a lease or that's a purchase?
No, it's, well, we own it at the end, so let me see.
By the time you pay off the lease, it's worth, it's valueless anyway.
Right, so if we get a new one, that one we get for $1. We don't have any more services on it, so we can give that to another department that doesn't use print copies. Because it'll face copy. but
Does the
it'll
police
be
department
nice.
have a copy?
Yeah.
I don't know if they have a nice one, I think they have a.
The road agent might need one,
Yeah, probably.
water and sewer.
But I
That
have
one also
for,
has issues sending it to it.
Well, can't you
That's
put
another
something
one.
on there?
You can put something on there to copy it, but sending the information to it to get it to copy.
Yeah.
You might as well try it.
and we're doing
Yeah,
titles.
I'm, all right,
Do you know how many copies you do compared to us, or no?
I'd have to see the numbers. Sarah usually gives me the thing and I sign off on it back. But if anybody's interested in the copier service agreement, it's right here.
That's for the lease and the services.
right, so
Yeah.
that's what that is.
Good.
Dental insurance?
Usual increase.
And that's correct, Jeremy?
Those are the numbers that you gave me.
Okay. Mm,
Disability.
Disability level funding increasing, dues, memberships and subs.
Who raised their dues?
It's just because we have more members in my office.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Equipment purchases, level funding.
Equipment repairs level funding, health insurance rate increase, that's the correct number, Jeremy?
Mm-hmm.
Alright, labor contracted services,
Everything else is level funded down to the Pitney Bowes machine.
Yep, so I got rid of that historic dinosaur of a printing machine that printed out crappy on the,
Hallelujah.
yep, so, and that was costing us a lot of money.
Mhm.
So this, we just print our own stamps.
Stamps.com?
Pitney Bowes is actually a better
Okay,
one. Yeah,
oh, that's fine too.
you just print on your own printer, it's easy.
Right,
Who is the labor contracted service?
Worldwide, what else do we have for labor
could be
contracts?
any number of things.
Yeah,
Well, worldwide should be in the computer, right?
no,
I'm just curious. 'Cause
I don't know, what do we use for the various things?
and you've already, and just looking at this year, it's already overspent, so that would definitely be something to look into, figure out what it's about. Let's see.
Yeah, when you have like locksmiths and stuff come out, because we have that them come out for safer equipment.
You had to bring the electrician out or
Yeah.
Alright.
You're probably paying for the current copy that comes out of the repair equipment, correct?
The copier?
Yeah.
I think it's coming out of computer
You said it come up
services.
quite a bit, so.
I think it's coming out of computer services right now. Because we didn't have the copier services back then.
Jeremy, we need to get whoever to look into 818. There should never be a negative number there. Because any money that comes back in doesn't go out to the individual.
That's supposed to be an adjustment. So some of the seminar money came out of that and it wasn't supposed to. So Sarah still needs to adjust that. That's why that's got to be over there.
you had a $25 budget.
Right, it's supposed to be for background checks.
But some of the seminars. that they
Training,
went to,
hiring, and
Yeah.
testing.
Some of the conferences and seminars they went to,
But- But no, but what I'm saying is that's a negative number, which means money went back into it. No adjustment should be made on that at all.
Well, it means they overspent the budget line. That's what, yeah.
No,
No,
that
it
means they
means-
got money back
Okay,
in.
Right,
That
that's what that says, yeah.
$620.40 back in. That should never happen.
Well, no, it'd be actually $645.40. Because you start out with a $25
Yeah.
budget.
Right. But
So
that
that
should
should-
say negative, yeah.
That there shouldn't be a negative
Right.
It says
anything.
we made money on the line,
Yeah,
that does,
there was something happening when Sarah went to adjust it, so she's gonna fix it.
okay.
Yeah, that we definitely need to make sure.
But
we do
anyway,
that.
so you're level funding that $25.
They exported their budget from BMSI into Excel and it didn't work so well.
There you go.
So with the adjustments, hold on. We go from 1 second. Are we leaving the raise in there for her to be adjusted at later or now?
I think the one up on top.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
forget
think
it.
you leave that in there.
Alright,
Well, if you get an article, it won't take out.
Oh, we'll leave it in. That's what the budget will need.
It would basically be raising it twice if you do a separate article.
yeah, we'd have to take it out.
Well, I think
Like last year, we took them all out and put them
So
somewhere.
my thinking is, let's have that conversation with the budget committee. I definitely think we need a separate article, but we might as well have leave it in here, so when we get the budget, we can say, this is what she's asking for, and then they can decide to support that article or not.
Okay, so the total would be 172,919.
919?
That's the new total?
We're only gonna do her salary, right, cause she,
Yeah,
Correct,
everyone
she's the
else
only
is,
elected one,
will
yeah.
falls under the usual.
Right. And so what's the increase? Teaching. About-
That's everything news to me.
So I move that we approve the budget for the town clerk tax collector as adjusted. The only adjustment that we made in the proposal was the advertising line, which we changed down to 25%. And that is an increase of $14,285 over the prior year, or about 7%.
I'll second.
Alright, which is 9%, but.
I think
But-
it's 7.
Yeah, I did, but I just did the
Whatever.
calculation.
Whatever. it is.
So, any further discussion?
No.
All those in favor?
Aye. So,
Next victim is the elections line.
Yeah, sorry it's so small, I couldn't really work with it to get it bigger.
So, advertising is going up then,
Yep, so we're gonna have another 125 there,
170.
175.
175.
So you're gonna have a $400 budget there, right?
Yep.
That's easy math.
Now, did we already vote to have the voting machine? That has to be done by a warrant article.
Yeah, so
And
we
we-
have
do
to
we-
vote, we need to vote to see if the town will allow it, and if the town will allow us to use it.
Right.
Which is two separate articles, they're already written, he's got them.
Alright,
So that line should be at $1 for now. Until it
what's
gets
he
voted
got?
on.
You got 0 in there, he's right.
$500.
That's
Oh,
the yearly
fine.
maintenance, but how, then
But if the town says no,
then where's the yearly maintenance come out of if they say yes?
well, that's when we can readjust it
We're
later.
gonna adjust it,
Okay,
So right now, that needs to be at $1.
yeah. Cause you don't want it to be at 0.
Isn't the maintenance covered in one of those articles?
Yes,
Yeah.
in the article it says it would include the
it
yearly
doesn't
maintenance.
include the yearly maintenance, no.
Yeah, but you wanna put the dollar in there. You might get
Yeah,
your
right.
money over out of the article, but you still need the right to spend it.
And for the record, we're getting $3,500 towards the $7,500 we're spending on the, if we spend.
Who's giving us that?
The state.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a different discussion, but I think that's great.
Well, just for Facebook world if they're listening.
And so you're up a bazillion % on seminars and trainings.
Yeah, so, elections is a large training, a large portion of training, so it shouldn't all be taken out of town clerk tax collector's budget, so I divided it into thirds. So
Well,
it should-
because this is all the new laws on voting and voter
Yeah.
verification and
Right.
so forth.
Yeah, and so like, you have to go, you have to learn election things every year. So I figured it should be split into the thirds. So there's tax collector, there's town clerk, and then there's elections. So it should be thirds.
Yeah,
That's why
okay.
that's up.
I'm by that.
And travel reimbursement too, because it's always in God knows where.
So are we adjusting the advertising line?
Yeah, that's 400 now.
Okay.
And then the voting machine is down to $1.
Yeah.
Six. And then the voting machine went down.
So we're at $4,405 after all the adjustments so far.
No, I got a different number. Oh, big one.
Oh wait,
Oh, it's this one.
wait, you're right. There's something off with
That's not bad, though.
Think how much easier it'll be.
Plus
sure you have one left.
Yeah, well, that's.
Well, we won't even get it in time for the next year's election.
Right, it
4180.
should be an easy election year.
What'd you get?
4180.
No, she's got 5404. You add 175 to that.
Oh, I'm looking at the bottom one. What's?
That's the right one. The 25 proposed
No, I
budget.
was looking at the.
The very bottom was the difference between the voting machine maintenance.
Right, we're taking that out.
So if we did the 4504
Plus 175.
And then minus 4.
plus 175 plus $1, so 4680.
Correct.
Yeah, that's what I got.
That's what I got.
Okay.
Move that we approve the, what is this budget called?
Elections.
The elections budget in the amount of 4680.
I'll second.
All right. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye. Can you make those changes before you
Sure.
present it to budget?
Yep, one question though, I did say I'd mention it. iWorks did a presentation, I forwarded it to you guys, about new dog licensing software. I don't know if you've seen it or anything.
I don't recall seeing it. Do you?
I read through it.
Yeah, it was nice, it's a nice program, but I don't, it's way too expensive. But I did promise that I would mention it, so I'm mentioning it. It's got like GIS mapping and stuff like that. It's
Oh, this
actually
is some sales pitch.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I would say if we were going to go for it, that'd be a one article of town ticket.
But we already paid for it through QuickBooks, you know what I mean? But we don't have the GIS mapping, it's not as nice and fancy and things like that.
Right.
What?
I gotta call the guy because he's been around.
We already paid for it?
We paid for it, not this program.
We
but
paid for the basic
through-
stuff. This is the advanced stuff that
Oh,
we
Yeah.
but we don't
add
need.
on.
This
Right.
is
Is
the
that for
BMW
modules?
version.
If we
Yeah.
had 1,000 people register the 2,000 dogs that live in this.
Your
town.
dog's right there, and it should be in that property right there on the GIS.
Oh, God.
It's actually pretty
It
cool.
would cut down on the Facebook posts,
Yeah.
Whose dog is this?
and it's the same dogs,
So
in the same spots, with the same people going.
Hey, like that.
That went pretty good.
We have the same dog, I forget what his name is.
Because he used
I wanna
that.
say his name is TJ, but I know that. And he's this old beagle, and he wanders, he has a route.
Thank you.
He goes down,
We
Good
have a
night.
little cat too.
down Brook Street, he
black
goes, he
cat running
stops on
after
the
you?
porches, he comes up on each porch, sniffs around, I don't even think the dog can see.
Am I shutting this? You guys on?
But the sniffer still works.
Yeah,
Sarah made a comment, for the town clerks about the adjustment that needed to be done. She said there was an adjustment error in seminars and I have to reverse the posting to fix it. So
yes,
she needs to call the MSI to do it.
okay, well, we can carry on our stuff.
So we're skipping number 3.
Yep.
That 3 is health.
Unless you wanna act on
How come I can't see the question
No.
over here?
it. Years past, the health, it was all zeroed out. And Dave was just proposing that I put something in there and potentially hand that.
I don't wanna do anything with it without Dave here.
Alright, so next is on to yours. The welfare manager, we need to take that line down to $1.
Well, I don't have a problem taking that down to $1, but I don't wanna change the bottom line.
So what you're saying is adjust the money within that.
I don't know if you said anything yet.
Say it again?
So what you're saying is adjust the pay for the welfare manager down.
You can take that to $1, that's fine, but I think the bottom line of 35,509 needs the same, I think it should be we should round it to 36,000. And, cause it's gonna be a rough year. And because welfare is a priority expense.
Well, that's a good thing because there's memberships and dues. There are four times a year training that you'll need to go to. So you have a membership line, membership and dues line that's missing, I think.
I think it's the one we paid out of the selectmen's budget, that's why. That was one
We
thing
should probably put it in this
that was something
budget.
I meant to move.
Well, so let's move that over. So wait a second, let's do it, I'm gonna propose this. Let's agree to level fund this, or reduce let's agree to fund this at 36,000. An even number, okay? And then taking that into consideration, we're gonna take the welfare manager down to $1. So that leaves us that leaves us $8,199.
The allocated, so.
And that really needs to be spread over the rent, electricity, heat, water, and sewer.
I would actually say only on the utilities, not the rent, because the rent's pretty good right now. I think that's a good number.
That's where that has
That's
to cover
gonna-
the hotels and stuff.
That's gonna increase this year, you watch.
Yeah.
I mean, it's,
And that,
you
'cause
can
that's,
overspend certain lines too, anyway, so.
that's like, you know, if we happen to have somebody who happened to have to go into a hotel at our expense tonight, that would be coming out of that rent line.
Well, we also have the $627 in the social security that needs to be adjusted as well.
Well, just put those in at $1 as well.
Yeah. So we'll keep it at 36,000, but then
Correct.
Jeremy add a line in there for training and seminars, so we have one for this specific.
Yep.
And then put in, what do we,
Well,
it's about $200 in that?
We put whatever makes the other numbers work out round in that.
That works.
So also, well, this isn't, for the town administrator duties, this was not part of his job description. We added this to it.
Correct.
So this is a new task that he's now responsible for, that he's not getting compensated for. That originally his job description did not have this. So I think we need to go back into and
Well, his
We can
line
talk with this.
his line is next. The budget for his line is next. We can deal with that when it comes.
just wanna make sure it gets brought up.
Yeah, it will.
Well, you know, I can see billing whatever, if we go back to this line, so if he spends 4 hours a week doing welfare stuff,
It should come out of this line.
it should come out of this line. It should
That's
go
gonna be
back.
a nightmare. I wouldn't do it that way.
No, because Abby and they're doing it with the water and sewer,
Just like we're doing with water and
they're doing
sewer.
the same thing.
So then he would have to.
He has to track the time.
Right, but then he also has to put in the set amount of times from his contract for town administrator job. Because his contract has a time he has to do for town administrator job. That's why I don't think we do it that way. I think we just increase his normal pay. And if he doesn't work it, he gets it. It's a bonus on his part.
I mean, I am tracking it now, as you asked when we made the change.
When we made the change, that's how we said to do it. I mean,
Ideally, if you do it that way, I think you'd wanna do it like once or twice a year, so it's easier, you know. I'm fine.
well, so then it still goes back to maybe we should deal with this line differently.
I
Well,
just
I would
leave
say
it
leave it.
alone, I'd level fund it, the whole thing, just leave it as it is, because we don't know how the numbers. Yes, he's gotta do town administrator work, but on the other hand, this right here is getting taken out of that.
Well,
It's,
here's the thing, if we find that he's spending 30 hours a week doing welfare stuff,
Right.
that's gonna be a problem, and we need to know that.
right, that's,
Right, which I don't mind tracking it.
Yeah,
then
But
now he has
I'm
to make up
thinking-
for that 30 hours as the town administrator, now 70 hours that he's putting in for the week.
That's why I'm saying just keeping it as one line,
yeah.
and it's $1 here, and we increase his pay.
But then we have to change his job description as well. is what I'm saying.
That's not hard to
You
do.
mentioned that when I was talking to the girls about it earlier, I was like, speaking of, I really should look.
I mean, that's not hard to do. We just
Yeah.
redo up the contract.
Right.
I'm just saying,
Well, can we, so we're gonna level, let's go back, sorry, let's talk about level, what was the budget last year? Actually, it was higher than.
37,760.
We spent 18,124, it's gonna go up, because we've gotta put people up, so.
So, all right, we got 37,760 was last year's budget.
either way, it's gonna be trying to figure out and adjusting this and see how many hours are dedicated to welfare and how many hours are dedicated to TA. And it's, the tracking purposes, it's gonna be a nightmare regardless, and I understand if we did upgrade it.
Well, I don't think it's that much of a nightmare.
Well, Abby's doing it now for water and sewer. so
Well,
I
right,
don't-
and we're talking about doing that with the guys down at, we're talking about that doing with like the
The
guys.
highway
at road
department
agents
and the water and sewer.
Yeah, That's a whole other story.
Well, that's theoretically. That's a,
Bigger scale, yeah.
Well, that one is, I've already heard some no's from one of the managers, so,
Oh, okay.
but we'll discuss that
okay,
later.
well, the point is, we should be able to do it.
We should be able to do it, yes. But what I'm saying is that instead of paying him a lower rate for this, we pay him at what his rate is, and we put
Charge it to this line.
I wouldn't even charge it to this line, because if we pay him at that rate, that would have to go up. That would have to go up a lot for what his rate is, that's why I'm saying.
Or he doesn't work that many hours, he burns it up.
And then he has to still, if he has to do welfare is state required.
Oh, yeah, it's a
That's what I'm
priority.
saying, we put the money in his, so we take this, what it is, put it in there, into his
I don't wanna give him an $8,200 raise
Why not?
for,
I had to.
I mean, I'm happy. All right, one part at a time. At the end of the day, this number isn't gonna go down. It's unrealistic to lower it.
Right.
So now it's just a matter of counting the deck chairs on the Titanic. Whichever place you wanna put it in, as long as there's $1 in one of these all of these lines, how we handle it administratively, I think, personally, I like the way that we originally proposed it, which is to bill his hours that he spends on welfare to this,
To welfare.
to welfare. I don't wanna give him X dollars, much as we love you, Jeremy.
Thank you.
I don't wanna give you X dollars for a job that, hey,
Sometimes you don't.
no, you're never gonna do. And I also wanna, I think, in order to look at this thing at the end of next year, we wanna get a sense of where the flow is on this. And is it 2 hours a week on average, or is it 4 hours a month, but always on the third of the month, or? We don't really have a handle on that.
I think the big thing is to decide, we're gonna stay the model we're doing now in terms of who's doing the labor, because if we change mid-year, that's gonna obviously, not that we can predict the future, but.
Well, so,
I mean, I will say that, like, clerically and, organizationally, and probably doing some stuff that Tara was doing, probably won't get done as well or as often, given the.
but if it's not
Balancing act,
statutorily
right.
required,
Right.
you know,
Just be
it's hard to
open
say
on it.
where we're gonna be on welfare. It's always a crapshoot.
Well, I'm pretty sure the budget committee's gonna wanna know what we're.
Oh, I think so too.
I think that's why I
We got,
we're gonna
we
tell
need
you-
to come to an agreement.
So I think just level funding this at the 37,760, leave it there, have Jeremy build his hours to,
Fill that line and
That
we'll
line.
see what happens.
and we'll
Oh, he's
adjust
got-
as necessary.
He's
next
gotta
year.
add in the seminars, there's 4
Well, yeah,
seminars, so that line, that price is gonna go up.
so how much is?
I don't know,
do we
do we just go up to 3,800 and then tell them?
38,000.
38,000.
I like that.
So what we'll do is we'll go to 38,000 and all the extra on there.
Right, that remaining $240 is
Seminar.
for seminars.
And we can adjust as necessary if we need to,
Alright.
because it'll be.
So you'll need to add that line to there when you go to see the budget committee on Monday. And
I move that we propose a budget of 38,000 for welfare, and that reflects, it's a level funding from 2024 plus $240 for seminars.
I'll second.
That was much clearer than the direction it was going in.
so then,
Yeah.
just for your discussion, when you go to training on these ones, those are hours for welfare, not
Right.
TA.
And that had gone in my mind when I was looking at it, and I forgot to actually move it over.
All right, any further discussion on that one? All those in favor?
Aye.
Oh,
What is
there's memberships as well in there that you need to be part of.
Yeah, because I noticed that it was in our.
Yes.
So,
What is this?
I don't know.
It's a second request for welfare, but like $1 million lower.
oh, the second one, I reduced that line to one.
Oh, you took that, right, we're gonna
So
do
you
it.
just wrote that one.
Yeah, you didn't do the social security part though, the dollars.
Yeah, I know. I did. I dropped
You
that.
missed that one. All right. Next is our office.
Yes.
84A.
Yeah, 5.
Trying to get it out. 2? Nope, I've got 1. You have 2?
I think I
No, you got 1.
What, I got what?
40,
add on overtime line for who?
Actually, that is something we need to add in here,
Sarah mentioned that you guys had talked about that.
because if the girls need to work overtime, they are hourly,
Yeah, they're
and this
entitled.
guy's salary is the only one in the office that is.
Does
so.
that need to be added as a separate line, or is that just part of their?
I would add it as a separate line. I would think.
Well, before we do that, I think you wanna check with the program and see how it's been, because they've had overtime this year.
Yeah, we just trying
And it just goes in that payroll line.
Okay, so yeah,
Okay, we'll move it again.
So 104 is normally overtime, so on this one it says AP clerk, we don't use. We'll just change that to.
Overtime?
Yep. Oh, depending on what the board wants to put it at.
Well, since we don't know what that number is,
It's not a tremendous amount.
well, why don't we put $1,000 in there?
that works.
So it's not a totally unrealistic number, but it's not.
The whole budget's a guess anyway, right?
Well, and for most of the stuff it is, but for this, I mean, $1,000 is probably a good number to put in there for overtime. It's not, it's one of those things, we don't want you to spend it unless
Right.
you really have to.
Right, correct.
And right now, I know that both the girls have had to work a little extra here and there, but $1,000 isn't gonna.
Right, that's not gonna break anything. So, on the public works director, was the magic number there 22,250 or 22,5? There was a number.
Yeah, we're gonna find that number.
Well, if we're
Would you
gonna
have
do,
the sheet, the paper?
Yeah, I got it.
Can you find it?
I got paper, I gotta find it.
Yeah, it was the pamphlet that said that
right,
you can make so much money, it was like.
right.
And the cap's on how much you make and how many hours?
Oh, there's a cap on both.
Both.
It's balancing it.
Well, and it really depends on which side you're going from. One side has a cap on hours, the other side has a cap on
Right,
dollars.
but you can't say the guy works 2 hours a year and he gets paid $30,000. And you can't say he works 100 hours a week, but we pay him $5 an hour.
Yeah, we don't really wanna piss them off, do we? If we don't want
You just can't, you're never gonna win, so why try?
No.
kind of unemployment or something, right?
Nope.
Give me a second. I will. Oh, come on, don't tell me I don't have it in here.
Do we want to put it down at 22.5? But that, I thought that was a number, that sounds familiar.
Super copy.
Something.
I mean, I have it. Hold on.
I know it was presented to us, I just don't have that copy on me. And I've got the last 2 meetings here,
That was like a month ago, wasn't it?
but yeah. I believe it was.
4 cups of coffee and one, huh?
Probably.
I think just,
Talk about that later when we do.
Well, we're trying to do our budget now.
yeah, I think just put that 22.5, I think that might.
I think let's put 22.5 in there. And then Jeremy, you're gonna have to adjust social security for that.
Yep.
Whoever that is. So that's gonna be. That's another $350 in social security. So.
the social security.
50 plus.
Okay, I know it's in alphabetical order, why can't I find that? There it is. You said how much on social security?
350. So 15,288 is the new social security number.
So the end of the day total will go from 341, 317 plus 1,000 plus 22.5.
These are all set.
50, 365, 167
Is that what you, where were you?
as a total.
For what, down at the bottom?
Yeah, but state retirement, does that stay the same?
Yes.
Something.
Yeah, because it's not a retirement covered position, it's part-time.
I was just making sure.
And what did you get for a total?
365, 167. I'll double check my math in a second. So 341, 317, 1,000 there, 22.5 there, 350 there, yep.
What was the new, social security, what was the additional social security that we came up with?
$350.
350?
Yeah.
It'll be more than that.
No.
If you add in his salary, you times it by,
Oh, I left a zero out. You're right, I rounded wrong.
I can give you the number in a second.
Okay.
Because it's actually better carry and social security.
No, I did both of them together, but I didn't,
I thought it sounded low, but,
yeah, I did the zero. I put the decimal in the wrong place.
so it's 1722. 1,722.
So I'm gonna change it right now.
Well, we should probably discuss the rest and figure out how much changes we have right now.
Okay, so if that's the new total with it, then it will be 366, 539.
Well, and then you do, but then you have another $160 for the overtime line.
It's just 160 for 1,000?
It's 15.6. So call it $160.
Alright, that brings it to 366, 699. Do I hear a dollar?
So what's the final number, TJ?
366, 699.
I move that we approve the selectmen's budget at $366,699, adding in the position of the public works director, the overtime, and the correction for social security.
I'll second.
Any further discussion on this? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Aye. Alright. Now we'll look at the rest of your stuff.
Huh? So I left the tax map contract at 0 in here. Obviously, we don't need to update it right away, but we do need to somehow decide on the GIS. And I don't know if that's something we wanna do. Like
So I
something-
think we wanna do that now, Jeremy.
Huh? Do a warrant article and do chunks, or? I'm waiting to get a updated.
What's the, so what's the,
Last page.
no, oh,
Cost option 1, just under 10,000. Option 2, just under 5,000 a year. And then cost option 3 is just under 4,000.
So what, the Avatar one?
Just whatever the last page is.
Yeah, so I'm waiting on an updated quote from them for just the GIS, because obviously we don't need our maps on right away. So I'm waiting on that from them. And then if you look at the other letters from CAI, who's the company who's done our
well,
updates for years, that's just for GIS.
So we have current maps as of right now.
And
And
CAI won't do it again until we launch GIS.
correct. So we don't need,
We don't necessarily have to do something this year either.
well, no, that's where I'm going with this.
So we can't, out the road
Well-
for 6 years, you know.
Well, but we have.
Right.
And
But
it's-
I'm also curious if we can explore options to get it done cheaper rates.
Cheaper, or there's also, I think there might be.
It's not gonna be cheaper in the future.
Right, well,
Not
it's
cheaper,
not,
but there might
it's
be-
always gonna, the thing about the tax maps is we have a statutory obligation to keep them quote current.
Yeah.
But they don't have to be updated
Every month, right?
every week.
Like the ones we just got, the ones that didn't change, they didn't bother, so you do.
Right, they just sent us for whatever huge amount of money they
No.
paid them, they
Or,
sent us
yeah.
just the changes.
So we were paying them $2,000 a year for 3 years, so we basically paid them $6,000 to make all this changes.
Right,
Essentially.
which is basically about
A lot of money.
$1,000 a page. They probably sent us 6 pages with changes.
And
So,
they want you to spend 40,000, so it makes it a lot easier for them to take that 6,000 from you next year.
Yeah, that's why I looked at those prices. Road agent wanted to pay for a GIS. Why are we paying different people? We should all pay one fee as a whole town.
You know,
I agree with that.
Granted, right now, as we're still going through, one side doesn't think they're part of the town.
Right.
well, maybe we can hire somebody to vend those things.
Well, the question is, what do we want to do about tax maps, if anything, this year? I'm thinking we do nothing about it.
I think we just wait for now.
Because they're not gonna update it until we did it, so.
I think we gotta wait.
So there's your answer, Jeremy.
Works for me.
All right, so 6, auditing. Oh, you put all of them on one. Thank you. So.
Yeah, a lot of our schools are small.
A lot of little stuff.
Hard to
Yeah, I
read,
know,
that's
sorry.
hard.
So I was like, oh.
I like to squeeze it on a page.
Scott, can I borrow your glasses? I'm gonna magnify all the glasses together.
So auditing, we just paid for 22 and 23, though we haven't started 23, but, obviously wanted to cover that, prepay it. So we have 2,000 left over that, so starting next year, we'll only, ideally we'll get caught up next year, we'll only have to pay for 2024 next year.
And
It's 2025, so yeah, this year,
25,000 per year, basically.
This year,
Yeah.
we're gonna pay
just for
for
24.
just 24.
Hopefully have all caught up.
Keyword, should.
And going forward, we'll just have to do it.
And you already encumbered the money for
Yep, it's actually already spent.
23 and 22. All right, I like that number. That's
Legal, I mean, you know, it's up to the board what they wanna do here. We haven't spent nearly as much as we've been budgeting, but obviously things change from the budget last
I
year.
think we're gonna spend more money this year on code enforcement and zoning issues than we've ever spent.
Yeah, I think that needs to go back up.
I think we wanna level fund that.
Yeah. I'm with you on that, because there's already a few in the pipelines.
It's like it's getting worse.
Well, it all comes down to how much we wanna enforce the rules.
Well,
We should.
We were told by the town that they want us to enforce the rule,
yeah,
and they want us to enforce it for everyone, not just certain individuals. So
yeah.
we have to have the money to go
Well,
legal.
we have right, and we have cases that are hanging and have been hanging for years, and those need to be wrapped up.
I can't see.
So we wanna move that back to 45?
40, was it 40?
45.
Yeah, I would bring that back
Yeah,
up.
just put it where it was.
I would level fund that one.
Custodian level fund. Building maintenance and repairs, no, you need to leave that at 20,000.
Okay.
Yeah, that definitely needs to stay up there. Level fund that one as well. Electricity. We technically should be going down, right, when we get off the contract?
Right, so that's like now, so I don't have to see that right away, but.
Right, but it should lower, I hope.
Yeah, other people I think have already told me that they've seen some savings, so that's good.
You heating oil went down.
Well, did we say we're doing the building maintenance and repair, keeping that 20 and all?
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Level funding that. And
Heating oil. Well, if Trump gets elected, I think we'll find heating oil prices, they've been lower this year actually than last year anyway.
so you don't mind taking a decrease on that one then?
No, I think we leave it.
Leave it, level fund it.
I mean,
Joe, baby,
$500
Joe.
So you want it back at 7,500?
went from 7,500 down to 7,000. I think that's okay.
Okay.
Okay, so we're not gonna level fund that one, okay. Labor contracted down to 350,
Why did that go down?
cause we only used 330.
Well,
Well, that's because
But
last
yeah,
year's winter, we only had 4 plowable storms.
yeah.
So
Well, is that where that line is? Plowing is comes out of that line?
Snow removal and shoveling and all that, is that part of this?
I don't know.
no, I think this is just labor contract services for this building.
That's if
Well,
we have
there
to,
are cameras in our, the rest of the way, for electrical and all that.
Trying to think of what it was.
I think we need to keep the labor contracted services back up to keep it at 500 for running the electrical.
I think what that line really pays is miscellaneous hiring of,
Random
Oh,
people.
yeah, random people, really.
Right.
I think you could level fund that at $500.
Liability insurance, that's the correct amount, property insurance is probably the correct amount.
Yeah, remember you did all those.
Fire, okay,
Extinguisher.
so I would probably,
Is that what they've been charged? That we've gone through this on every budget.
it fluxes every year.
Yeah,
That's
depends on what needs to be,
What he gets here.
what gets done each time.
Yeah, because sometimes it's just a quick look of the thing, sometimes he actually has to recharge it,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
more,
yeah.
so I just say leave it at the,
100?
yeah, leave it at the 100, and if it goes over, it goes
I'm
over.
sure.
Water and sewer, I wanna check that out.
Fax line, good to know we have one.
Okay, so wait, whoa, well, that's gonna have to go up, water and sewer.
Yeah, you've got an actual this year of $1,200. What happened here? We made it 600.
Yeah, I was wondering if part of that was from our issues that we had or not.
Well, that's gonna go up
Or it's
another.
gonna go up anyway.
It's gonna go up anyway. I think you got $1,172 in billings. Just budgeted at $1,200.
I'm wondering why
Yeah,
we
it's
spent,
July, they already said it's going up again.
why do we spend
Yeah.
like $300, less than 400 2 years in a row?
Bye.
Good night.
You gotta go in there later and I get that.
You get it?
Went from actuals of 371 to 353 to 1,172.
Yeah, that sounds like,
The water and sewer rates have gone up in Troy.
I think we're 15.
But
I would say
Yeah, I
almost
think
leave it at
if
we might have
2.
paid some of those invoices on there.
What did you say, make it 1,500?
I would say 2,
Yeah, okay, I'll do 2.
just to be safe, because that
Yeah.
line,
I'd like to think that's wrong.
I would too, but like Curtis said, and they even said it is gonna
Right.
go up at some point, but,
It says in July, there's another increase in July, when they were in here, that's what they said.
well, they said no, and then yes and no, I can't get back and forth with them. It goes,
Yeah, I thought I heard fourth quarter, but
So town hall streams is a staple packet to it. That's the company that will come in and install a camera. And put microphones in the
I
walls.
never got keys.
Literally just come in and flip a switch. And it'll automatically upload to their website. And they'll be in there setting up with the iPad or not. $3,000 will pay for just town hall for the year. And that includes as long as you're still a member and paying. If the camera breaks or needs to be upgraded, they'll come in and upgrade it. They'll install everything included unless it's like really, really hard wiring and any electrician or something. The flip side is if you wanna add additional buildings, it's $50 per building per month. So if you wanna do water and sewer and library.
well, water and sewer, again, they won't wanna do it, cause they have to vote on their own, library would have to vote on their own as well,
Well,
cause the library.
So
if you pay for it.
if you wanna add a room here, so it's $50 for an additional building, but what if we wanna add it to the upstairs?
I assume it'd be 50 more, but I don't know that for sure.
Okay, well,
I think it's per camera.
I think the $3,000 is actually very fair.
Yeah, and at first I heard about this company, I'm like, there's no way it could be that great for that money. I've heard from enough people that it's good, so.
Well, I wanna make a comment, put it on the record,
Yeah.
saying that we do not have to record and advertise and put out this stream. We've been doing it for the last several years to try to be transparent, to let everybody know. We started off doing audio, and then we moved to audio and video.
Right.
This is something that we've done as a selectman
Yeah.
to show transparency, and so everyone can see it, because they don't wanna come in and watch it. It's not mandatory, we have not been told by the town that we have to do this.
All we have to do is post handwritten notes.
Most times we have.
Basically, we met, we discussed stuff, and we left.
The other option is that we fund it for the other buildings.
I would say we just leave it as is for now and wait, and when if the town wants, we could push it as a warrant article, see if they wanna do it that
I
way.
mean, I haven't really asked either one, I'm sure library would be pretty easy, but I don't know how that is recently.
Well, the one problem is with the other two buildings, if we do it at the library, that's used for everything, so if someone accidentally flips it on, it goes in live stream. If,
Well, that's not necessarily bad.
I don't know what's going on in there.
Well, there shouldn't be anything
True.
going on in the damn library.
The thing,
The
but you
thing
know,
is, the switch can be put in a little box, so it's controlled, so not anybody can just walk in here, flip a switch on, and we're live streaming
Right.
day-to-day
and then
business.
water and sewer will have to vote on their own building as well.
But if the town votes, if we do a warrant article.
That's what I'm
and
thinking,
say
do a warrant
that
article.
all public meetings need to be recorded and advertised or whatever, and this is how much it's gonna cost, and you put, give us a number for water and sewer, give a number for the library, give a number for here, and this is how much it's gonna cost, and they say it, that they wanna do it as a town, with a
Well,
warrant.
the town can mandate that they do it.
Right.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying, let them do it.
Right, so it
And
needs
then
to
we
come
use
out, the
this.
answer is it comes out of this budget here.
Warrant article.
You need to get us more information, we'll put out as a warrant article.
And then like if we have
And
a
you wanna see
meeting
if
with
it'd
rec,
be
we
any
can
more
use
to go
that.
upstairs?
Well, you might as well ask the question.
and if we do the rec department, if we have to have meetings with rec, we have this available.
Right. Oh, we could put this,
I mean-
we could, for 50,
Per month?
Yeah.
Okay,
So
so
for
for not just.
community center-
like 6,000,
Per month?
Yeah.
Okay,
So
so
for
for not just.
community center-
like $600 a year.
Per other extra location.
Oh, okay.
But like these one-offs, that like we go to school once a year, like it'd be silly to pay for that.
Right.
Right, and that's what I'm saying, like that
Right.
one, or like at the rec, we just use this, cause we have,
Right.
how many, we only
Right,
have them
right.
2-3 times.
Right.
Although, if, like Dick said, we start using upstairs again, we can start having all the big meetings there,
Right.
except the one like town hall. Even if, I'm sorry, even if we, you know, we have our town meeting, I don't think everyone's gonna be able to get up there.
Well, the problem is parking,
Well, yeah,
they'll
that's,
shuttle people over.
No, there's other ways to deal with it, but there are different questions,
yeah,
so.
but that one, you know, take it out of this line,
My thought is that if you don't get everyone to wanna do it, then just don't do it. Just get someone like me to do it.
Right.
If everybody wants it, do it, then do it.
But
Right.
people need to understand, what you're doing is a volunteer thing. You're
Sure.
not getting paid to do this,
Right.
you're doing this at
We
the
pass this
capacity
in
of
your
your
job,
and
sorry.
you're volunteering your time to come here and do this.
Right.
And that's why I wanna make sure it gets put out. We don't have to do this. It's
Well-
not mandated that we are doing this.
Right.
And we,
We do this because we want the people to be informed and let them know, hey, this is what we're doing.
I mean, this goes, this predate TJ, but there was a concern when Curtis and I were here, alone, we'll go with that one, that that secrets were there were secret meetings being held, nobody knew what was going on. That was an easy solution.
well, it came when I came
I
on.
took out my phone and just broadcast it live streamed it on Facebook.
Yeah.
And so then we had people come in and they wanted better quality, then of course,
So-
no, we had nothing before, but this isn't good enough quality.
Right.
And so we've gone through that for the last 8 years.
Yeah,
18.
but when we
12.
first started doing this was Alan
Same
Billy
years.
and Bart Belcher, we did audio recordings.
They-
And
which-
then we updated
right.
it onto our website.
Right,
And then we evolved to the video recording with
Right.
audio, obviously, and
Right.
then now they want better quality, they want better speakers, and
all of which is fine, I think it's, I'm good with that.
And that one works for 99% of the people, except those people who talk like this.
Right,
Those whisperers who just
Right.
can't.
or if there's two conversations going on.
Right.
So
Yeah.
as long as, you know, the chair, whoever the chair is at the time,
right.
manages that throughout each
If
meeting.
Oh, yeah.
everyone volunteered 1 year in their life, we'd never need volunteers.
Right.
That's true.
Think about it,
If
people.
everybody did one term of anything,
So this line is gonna change drastically. So we go 6.5. Whoa, too many zeros.
But it is kinda nice though, I mean,
oh, I think it's the thing to do.
I got 43,619.
do it.
You took out the $3,000?
but we added back in 15,000 on legal.
Right.
And
Oh,
we,
well, I'm just
no,
looking at,
this
I'm
is
just
just
looking
this
at
one.
town hall.
we changed the water and sewer up 1,400.
So I got addition of 5,000, addition of 150, addition of 1,400, and then subtraction of 3,000.
What was your number?
Huh?
What was your number?
43,619. Do we wanna vote on the previous two before we go too far, or do we wanna do it all at the end, or,
What previous two?
like the
Auditing
auditing,
and legal.
those are one-liners.
You said what?
Do we wanna vote on those?
No, let's just do the whole, let's do the whole column.
43,619?
Yep.
Yeah, same.
Southwest.
Southwest, that is what it is, it's up $79.
So 41, 48.
You sure we can afford that?
Why did we do,
Abatement.
we went down because it's out, we're not in a reval year, so.
That's usually where we get most of your payment from.
Is that a good idea, though?
I don't know, man. We always wind up with stuff in that line.
I'm wondering what happened in 22 where we didn't spend anything. Did it come from somewhere else?
It got posted wrong. In my opinion. I think you need to, I think that should be at least $20,000.
The abatement, yeah, I think so too, because
Yeah.
people, just in case there's people who
Yeah.
are late to the
Yeah.
game.
Yeah.
Try to
Somebody
reduce
goes
your
over-
budgets.
Somebody goes over to the Board of Land and Tax Appeals, it's in the process now, and they win.
Yeah, if they're in the process now, I mean, we have to.
And I know one person is coming in for elderly exemption, or
That's what, yeah, that would come under here, that would
No.
be under your taxes.
I'm trying to think of any other abatement.
Unless they're coming in to get their old one, their previous, the last bill abated
Right.
down to it, I mean, that's the only way it would happen.
I'm trying to think if I heard, I haven't heard any right now. I've heard of one elderly exemption that the paperwork was given to them.
Yeah, but that'd be
Well,
cool.
we might have something that's in litigation, or,
Right. Yeah, I think keep it up at 20.
I think 20, yeah.
That's fine.
If you come down 5,000, that's good.
And building inspector,
That seems to be okay.
yeah. Oh, hey, look, another side.
Oh, wait, there's more.
Hey, I didn't forget building inspector this year. Last year I was ahead on mine. When the budget prints out, it's only one line, it's kind of get hidden, we didn't have one at that point, so.
Level funding the street electricity.
Yeah, so that's based off, we're anticipating it's gonna go down, I'm waiting for the LED proposal and how that's gonna look in terms of.
Yeah,
I still laugh, we pay all that amount for broken lights.
okay.
No, I think we fixed most of it, the really ancient.
MDS we took out.
So this one,
Where were these numbers derived from?
For what? What are you looking at?
The
Support for public service, these are all their requests.
Their current request?
The 2025 column is what I've received from them.
Okay.
You're gonna look at number two, you're gonna look at line 288, which is MCVP, so their letter says, we really want it 4,560, but if you can't do that, we'll take half, so.
Well,
But they've been
yeah, but you
increasing.
need to look at our history on this, so like, we made a decision to not contribute to 100 nights,
Right.
and I would continue
So their
to.
letter this year does say they did provide some service, but I don't know how reliable they're gonna be to that.
Well,
Well, they say that every year.
They always
Find
say-
out that more people from Manchester, Concord, Nashua area
right,
are getting priority.
right.
so again, they give us 2 year ago numbers.
And why did you take out MDS?
Cool.
A new line?
That was the one that we added last year at town meeting, that Ben said was illegal in your
Yeah.
budget committee.
I thought we didn't want to, but we can certainly continue to fund it.
Oh, okay. Well, I think Monadnock Developmental Services does a lot.
I would think we add them for our aspect now,
Yep.
not
Right.
during later, so I would say I'd leave
Yeah.
that one.
Yeah, but, so level fund that at 2,500. Meals on Wheels. Southwestern Community Services, Community Kitchen, Monadnock Child Advocacy Center.
So I have an issue with one of them.
Which one?
I'm not gonna say the name out loud, but 278 on there, just,
Yeah? Why?
To discuss it fully, we'd have to go into non-public because it was a legal issue.
Okay, well,
Oh, yeah.
they have, I don't know what that is, so we can do that. I know that they provide a lot of support in the community.
Well, you're referring to the invoicing, right?
Well, invoicing and then that other issue where they asked us to
Overlook something?
overlook something.
That's-
Well, we don't have to do that, but I think,
The invoicing thing, I would say, I wouldn't put too much effort in because we're not the only town they're trying to do that with.
No, they're trying with everybody.
But other towns have said the same thing and said, yeah, too bad.
So they asked
15.
for, is that what they asked for right there? 43?
Yeah, yep. I call
which
them-
is less than we gave them last year.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm good with that.
I'm hoping it's because of the other stuff that's going on with them. Because they lost their head person a couple times.
I mean, they're really good at outlining, exactly where all the money and this.
2024 actual was 5982. What I gave him 23 was only 2500.
We gave them less last year than we have.
My understanding is each year we're putting, whatever they request unless they make an adjustment.
Yeah, that's what we make.
Last year we gave them $3,018, this year we're giving them
Yes, and ask for
$2,691.
less, which is.
Oh, I'm looking at the wrong line, I'm
Next one
sorry.
down.
Southwestern, 25. Ouch,
We
okay.
used to give them just $2,500 a year, so we did.
Well, let's make that 2,500, how's that?
We did it for several.
I
Yeah,
can
we-
agree with that one.
Make it
Except for last year, we
2,500.
gave them the.
What they requested.
Right,
Because they were at
if
that
somebody
time.
wants to change it at town meeting, they can do
Southwestern's going, reducing down, talk over
that. And
Yeah.
how about the community kitchen? Yeah, I'm good with that,
that. Plus
2,500.
1 to 3?
Transportation, yeah, I'm good with that,
Plus 1 to
2,500.
3?
Transportation, that's where they take people to and
Communication.
from the hospital, I'm good with that one.
100 nights, take it out.
We didn't get there, I'm on CASA.
Casa.
That's fine. Yeah, 100 nights, take that out. Monadnock Family Services. Seem to have level funded that for the last several years.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Monadnock
see,
Center for Violence Prevention, that's the
That's when
battered
Dave
women.
kind of asked to, because we've been seeing a lot more of that.
Yeah, we have.
So
I'm good with 2280.
okay.
So what's the new number on that one?
$500 plus 2691 plus 2500 plus 3000 plus 2500.
Super copy, where they cost like $5.
I don't know. Maybe on the other. Some of them do cost it for.
I know.
Starbucks.
South Community Services.
Southwest,
2000 or is that 25?
2000.
I put 2,500.
I thought so. Okay. That one we got rid of.
And the community kitchen was 3,000.
What was Family Services? They crossed it out and I can't see it.
Monadnock Family Services is 2662.
Plus 2280. So I got 21,133.
That's fine.
Okay.
So on town common, the first line under town common is town common. What in the name of God's good earth is that supposed to mean?
It's $0.
Yeah, so zero number.
Well,
And
only
zero,
knows.
which leads me, which I'm curious, I mean, we have a line, we have a category and then we have a subline, so.
I think that was when the common was being taken care of by someone else.
Well, the weird thing is it's
No,
number
labor
zero.
When's that?
contract service.
It's always been,
Why'd you go down with labor contract service?
yeah, that's not gonna work.
We needed, if you can go up a little bit.
Yeah, that's gonna, that's,
To 8.
yeah, you need to change that to 8. And so, when we bought a Christmas tree, what did that get charged to, Jeremy?
I'd have to look.
We're equivalent, it's overspending by however much that was.
Well, but there's a couple of things, so.
Yeah, you wouldn't think it would come out of contracted services, but. How much was that?
That was $16.95. Then there were also, the town paid for about a third of the bulbs. They didn't pay for the mums.
What about the bunting and stuff?
That came out of patriotic,
HR services?
yeah, patriotic, something, or that's in the town hall.
Yeah.
So here's the thing, I think on the town common, under that 00 line, I think we should put $1,000 in there for things like, whether it's making repairs to the fences, or buying mums, or whatever.
I see no issue with that. So that would bring it up to 10,350. Curtis, you see an issue? Do you see an issue with that, Curtis?
No.
All right.
Patriotic purposes, band Memorial Day, that's what the Monadnock band gets, and we had flags, and that's where there's your overspent, TJ, because we spent
Right.
$925.
We not pay them the whole amount for the band?
Apparently not.
What, this has been an issue for the last couple of years now.
Did they cash a check?
Well, they either send us an invoice and we
No, we
get the
approved
invoice. Right, we approved to pay the checks and all this, so, but this has been an issue that it's not getting, coming out of this line.
Pretty sure we saw an invoice like immediately after,
Right.
so.
Yeah, well,
And
we
even
saw
like 4 years ago, we were seeing it,
Right.
this was an issue in the budget, it's not getting.
Yeah, I've noticed it's gone.
It posted someplace else.
So we have to just talk about where we put some into the budget.
But,
I think this is where it belongs.
Yeah, this is where it belongs, but we need to make sure it's in there so we know, because if we go to the budget committee and they say, well, why don't you reduce that down to 150, because it's all you paid out.
The answer is because it would be better if we could get that, whatever that posting is, Monadnock High School band.
Yeah, Sarah said the invoice us, and I remember seeing it.
I remember seeing it myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
But I don't know
we
how
approved,
the
when that came
previous-
through, we're like, pay them.
because there was one year that, they
Right.
put an invoice, but they didn't get paid
2 years ago.
2 years ago.
What was the town common total you came up with?
10,250 or 350 dollars.
350.
My 3 looks funky on my paper.
So industrial development, leave that in at $1.
So we're adding 1,000 to the first line and then.
Taking the
You're taking
labor contractor to 8,000.
to 8,000. We're underpaying the guy that mows the lawn now. I don't think we're gonna get it done for less.
Is my math off there?
And the
I'm getting
10,
10,850.
600 plus 750 is 1,350.
So labor contracts going up.
With that labor,
2,500.
Right, we're making it at an even $8,000.
8,000.
So we're adding 3,500 to the.
So 1,000 plus 8,000 is $9,000, plus $600, plus
750 is
750
10, is 10,350.
10,350. I mean, I would. If you want to add some more money, then we can.
Did we add the other two lines or no?
No.
What are you talking about?
I'm just not getting the same number.
6 plus
I
7.
can do it in my head, Jeremy. There's only 4 numbers to add.
So you.
8 plus 1 is 9, plus 6 is 96, plus 750 is 10,350.
7 plus.
Clear your
6.
memory.
Delete.
Time for some super coffee.
That Diet Coke, man.
Oh,
Yeah.
It's not getting it.
Oh, I saw one of those Reels things on Facebook where it's actually a Red Bull ad, I think. And you see this guy and he's got a drone and it pulls him along a pool where he goes off of a jump. And you don't realize that the jump is at the top of a 50-story building. And then he goes off the 50, and then it's over the 50-story building, and his parasail pops out halfway down the building, and then he lands on the beach. Talk about an adrenaline jump. Holy mother of God.
No thanks.
No thanks.
No.
Everybody dies, but you don't have to, push it.
Got it, Andrew?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was reading the wrong column.
You said keep the tan in interest, 40?
Well, I bumped it up, 'cause it was 34.
Yeah, I would say
so.
so.
Yeah, interest rates gone up, yeah.
Okay.
We get some really good interest rates.
So are we leaving the other two? Sorry.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Patriarch purposes will leave where it's at, and then industrial development,
Okay.
the dollar.
That big industrial, thing that we did.
so what's our new grand total?
And those are all individual budgets.
Oh, okay. So
You
I
just-
move that we approve the individual budgets as, as amended.
I'll second it.
All right, any further discussion? All those in favor? Aye. And that went through all those. We're skipping B. C. Job description.
Well, we have a
7 o'clock plan.
Yeah.
right?
7 o'clock and he's sitting here.
So let's go ahead.
We can, yeah.
Do we go into that speed under?
We go to non-public. Under,
Scott, if you want, you can leave for the night, because there's not much to do after that.
B?
Turn it back on, it's up to you.
Alright,
Just sit around.
I'll head out.
yeah,
So I will entertain a motion to go to 91A3 to B.
yeah. So moved.
Second.